Hi everyone, welcome to this week weekly market update. So, as usual, we'll be talking about what happened on last Friday before we go into next week, what will be the coming weeks, things to watch out for, and also to recap certain counter that we have been talking about, and things to watch out as well. But before that, if let's say it's your first time watching this video, please remember to follow my YouTube. Remember to join my public Telegram. Remember to like my Facebook page as a support as well. So basically for this week, let's take a look what happened on last Friday itself. So as we can see for the market itself, right? Last Friday the market isn't doing very good because it's actually closed in the red itself. So it's a second straight week of losses in September slump. Mainly because right people who are not really aware what happened on last Friday is because last Friday is actually a quadruple witching. Let me show you what is called triple witching. It's actually stated here. Alright, so we can see that last Friday is called a quadruple witching. Basically, what is quadruple witching, right? Is actually an expiration of stock index futures, and the index options, stock options, and single stock futures. So basically, it's the option expiry date. So usually at the point of time, right, a lot of people who a lot of counter, a lot of stocks is all expired. So it's actually a renewal of the contract itself. So usually it doesn't cause the market to turn red, it just causes more volatility itself on that day, all right, on that particular day. So because you see some of the volatility that comes during September is often surrounding of this quadruple witching, all right. But of course, they are expected to have more volatility for this to be increased for this over the next months, driven by a seasonal pickup of the investor uncertainty that contain of the virus uncertainty, contains of the policy, monetary policy movement. This is what Joe Marshall has said is the head of derivative, which is from Goldman Sachs. Alright, so this is why he actually stated that volatility will start to pick up from now onward. I mean, starting from next month onwards. So this is what happened on the market itself of last Friday, causes market to volatile and then close on the red side. Mainly the mega caps technology stocks was most in red, basically on the social media, on the Facebook, Alphabet, and also the Apple. All right. Out of these four and Microsoft as well. Out of these four shares, I'll be picking on Apple to talk about the chart as well. So we'll come to that later. So before that, let's head to a couple of more news. For our local market, people who are into Singapore, which one of the counter which I mentioned is actually city development, right? It's nothing really related, like it's just that this is a good news for Singapore shares. Singapore government is actually announced 1 million new funds to boost local stock market. So to boost a local stock market, city development is just nice one of the stock listed in Singapore. So it's actually kind of like uh will pick up based on this good news. But ultimately, I think I have explained before based on the charting, based on the fundamental wise, city development is a good for the long-term investor basis, right? If let's say you believe in Singapore property value. All right. So next, I will also be pointing one of the Singapore local shares as well. It's good to put into your watch list for people who are more on long term, people who believe in Singapore company. Although they move like tortoise, they move very slow, but ultimately there is still a chance for people who want to buy on more less risky, more stable company will consider on Singapore counter. Next, I think is what people has been talking about this Evergrande. Uh, is actually is a developer of the of those kind of house office. Basically it's like real estate. So right now they're actually a brink of default. They actually coming with a debt close to 300 billions. So this is so huge that any fall of this, right, could actually cause damage to the China economy. Not just the China economy, it might be beyond, because there is a lot of ETF actually created with this company itself. So right now, I think ultimately people is looking whether just like what happened on Citigroup at the point of during global financial crisis, will it be too big to fall? All right, so it's the same thing where this company where the government step in to help them out because it's too big to fail. Sorry, too big to fail, not too big to fall. All right, it's too big to fail. So this is what happened. Continue monitor. I personally, I think that it might have chance because it's really, if let's say it's really too big to fail, right? It's the main business in real estate, as you can see, and it's the China's second largest property developer. All right, so I think it's really too big to fail. I think most likely China might step in to help somehow on uh, this shares itself lah, on the debt itself. It might not be totally help, but somehow you will step in to prevent a shakeout economy in China. All right, this is what I feel. All right, so before that, without further ado, let's go into the chart directly. All right, for the chart, this is Dow Jones Index chart mentioned on last week, all right, 12 September. I mentioned that it actually touches the 50-day moving average. This is a 40 days. Once it break below, right, we are looking at for it to retrace to 33,500. All right, just coincide with 200-day moving average. Once the 200-day moving average catch up, we add like a support here. So 33,500 will be my first support level for Dow Jones Index. Same goes to S&P 500. Alright, same goes to S&P 500. Right, so it's the same thing. Waiting for it to slide down. Alright, so that's the same. Yes, okay. So I draw here. So it's the same thing, waiting for it to come down. But right now it's actually breached the 40-day moving average. We are looking for it to catch up the 100-day moving average instead. All right, so this is what I'm looking at. At first, previously I'm looking at 4,006, but it seems like there's a changes. Ultimately, we just go with the flow. If people who are not comfortable in doing shorting because it's still in the uptrend, don't do trend reversals. You can wait for the price to come back, and this is the price for you to monitor any signal for it to go up, and then we long again. All right, so this is what we are looking at the index itself, and then let's go to the particular individual counter. Let's recap. So firstly, it's actually Airbnb. All right, so for Airbnb, I think it touches my TP level 169. All right, actually my second level is 170. I think it don't really. I think it just missed by a bit. The high. Oh yeah, the high is 170. So basically 169, 170 has touched. Then we will continue monitor for Airbnb. So Airbnb is completed. Congrats for people who have followed me since 29 August. 29 August is somewhere here. All right, I say it's good. Once it break out, pull back, it's good to go in. Correct? I think I remember shared with my previous video. I think it's good once it break out. Right, we wait for some pullback. All right, wait for some pullback, and then we can actually enter here. All right, share on the 29 video. So if you have managed to enter, congrats to you. You ride all the way, and there you go, your TP. All right, next is actually on Tesla. Tesla discounter, right? Uh, Yes, my TP level is 780, first resistance. I'm still waiting for it to go there. I think it's high chances. Market came down, but it did not drop. All right, it's still trading on the ascending triangle, and right now we are waiting for the next resistance level at 780. All right, I think my first resistance level will be at 720 if I remember correctly. I think it's 720. Yes, 720. Why? Because it's the Fibonacci level of 78.6. All right, that is my first resistance level. Once it break out, second is 780. So continue monitor. Yes, high chances it will hit there. Once it break, then we will go more on look on the upside. All right, look more on the upside. Okay, so next counter is actually PLTR. I think I shared in my Telegram group. All right, I say it break above $28. This is my first TP. It touches and it break above. Once it break above, we are looking at 31. Higher chance. This is like a cup, double bottom. Okay, cup. Say cup and handle, whichever. But I just believe it's a more double bottom. Right now, we are looking more on the bullish side for this PRTR, Valentine's. Uh, don't forget, this is one of the ETF by Catherine Wood as well. So right now we can see. Okay, so it's something like a ascending triangle, just like Tesla. So as long as it don't break below 2250, then we are totally fine. All right, the first warning sign is break below this triangle. All right, this arrow line. All right, once you break below, second is 22.50. Otherwise, you are looking more of the upside as well. Next, we are looking into uh Apple, right? I mentioned Apple. Okay, why I'm talking about Apple, right? If let's say the market is going to correct, I'm not going to say that Apple is losing money lah. But the thing is that why I pick on Apple is because of the recent news. I believe you guys know. So what happened on the recent news is because I think they lost a case, suitcase. I mean a case with uh one of the game. All right, Epic Games. Yeah, they lost the suitcase with Epic Games. So basically, uh, right now they can't. Apple can't force all the game developer to sell their game, or player cannot purchase directly from the game store itself. Correct? Or not? So this will actually impact and be hurtful on the Apple revenue, because if I'm not wrong, I read before the Apple game stores, right? I think their revenue is quite at the high side because they force all the people to buy through the games, their apps, right? Since right now they lost this case, right? Then player, gamer can actually purchase directly from the company itself from their website. Don't need to go through the Apple mobile apps. And people who what happened last time is that if let's say you are a gamer, you buy the those kind of games items, right? You make those spending, right? Apple tend to have draw 20 or 30% profit from there. So right now don't have this free revenue coming in, right? A lot of people is playing Epic Games, or somehow going forward, not just Epic Games or other developer, right? It's really impact on their revenue. So people is looking more on the it's kind of like, if let's say it hurts your revenues, company revenue, definitely will affect the stock market, right? So is they looking for some corrections lah. I don't think it's bearish enough, and I think Apple has just recently announced on the iPhone 13, so we are looking for the next sales level as well. But in the meantime, right, if let's say the overall market is coming down and with the bad news, right, and right now based on the chart itself, we can see that it's actually close below the 40 days. I'm looking at my first resistance at 140. All right, just nice coincide with the 40-day, 100-day moving average. 140, 137, this band within itself. All right, so this is what I'm looking at for Apple. All right, ultimately we are still on the uptrend now. We can see that it's still on the uptrend. So I'm not doing, not going to do anything else. I mean, if people want to short, just be quick in, quick out. Once it break above this, all right. So let me draw again. Sorry. All right, so once it break above this one, this level, right, then just watch out yourself. All right, it's not doing good. One is break above, not doing good. All right, otherwise we are looking at the downside for Apple. Okay, so next we are looking at Caterpillar. All right, why Caterpillar? Okay, just purely based on technical analysis, we can see that here is the major support level, the resistance. All right, right now it touches on the support level. If let's say it penetrate, all right, if it penetrate, meaning to say it's quite a bearish, because overall, right, can you see that overall is fall below 40 days, 100 days, 200 days moving average. Once it break below, then we are looking at, seems like a double top, right, or inverse cup and handle, and then we are looking for the next support level. So ultimately, uh, we have to see, because last Friday closing, the volume is quite significant as well lah. So I'm looking more on the downside. If let's say it really fall, let's draw the first support level. We can draw here. All right, if people who want to be more safe precautions, you can actually use Fibonacci level. So Fibonacci level from the bottom to the top. Sorry, I think I used the wrong one. Give me a second. Fibonacci retracement, yes. So we just draw the Fibonacci retracement okay, from the top to the bottom. Okay, so ideally we are looking at here, 61.8%. All right, not so far apart. Let's go up. All right, so this is what the first retracement. Since it break below 78, we are looking at the 61.8%. Okay, so this is our view on Caterpillar. And then next thing we are looking at Plug Power. Plug power, right? Ultimately, there's some movement here, lah, but it doesn't signify is there any strength here or not. I will just put into my watch list, and then monitor from there. So no actions from here. I mentioned is because to indicate in my watch list first. All right, in my watch list first, and then we will see how it goes. If you're able to break out, good chance that you will continue to go higher, lah. Definitely, if you're able to break out. Ultimately, it seems like there's some good movement on the last few days itself, especially on last Friday. The market is closing, but plug go the inverse direction, right? So this is what I'm looking at. All right, last but not least, one last thing today for today will be a new counter. Is called Lucid. All right, people who know this counter, you know this counter lah. All right, otherwise you can Google what is Lucid. All right, Lucid basically just take a look. It's actually a combo of Tesla and Ferrari. Just a simple layman words, it's actually a high-end EV vehicle. High-end EV vehicle. All right, we know that when we are talking about EV, we are talking about like Tesla. Firstly, we are talking about Neo. All right, but this is a high-end EV lah. And not only that, right, actually Bank of America give a bullish outlook on last Friday itself, putting a price target at $30. $30. Let's take a look. Where is $30? That is their first TP. All right, it's somewhere here. All right, resistance. So right now, very obvious, we are drawing the support and resistance. So if you say here's the support, the resistance, we are right now at the midpoint. All right, so with the trend, with the volume picking up, we are looking more high, likely, hopefully, Bank of America play a part. But we will never know because research report tend to be just because they want to liquidate their whatever on their hand, right? They have to put good positive report so to bluff to cheat you to go into buying. All right. So, but however, if you believe high-end EV, then this is one of the counter that you can actually put into your watch list to monitor going forward, lah. All right. Last, we are going to talk about this thing called uh USoil, WTI crude. All right. So this is what I mentioned. What I mentioned on last week as well. I say resistance and support. If you're able to break either way, right, you will go even higher. So if let's say you break high and then you went higher, pull back, but it's still above this resistance level. All right, above this resistance level. So this is what we have been talking on last week itself. All right, if you can't remember, go to my YouTube and watch back my previous video. Okay, so why you might be thinking that how come there's a virus ongoing, but then the oil is keep going up because oil is actually a good inflation tool as well, not just on gold. All right, so if you believe inflation is coming in, oil is a good tool to buy. I mean, you can go and Google uh, what asset class to buy during the inflation level. I think they will mention oil, gold, banking sector as well. All right, so this is what happened. And lastly, just I mentioned city development, right? Yeah, I know never last, right? Two more to go. So for city development, I shared 15 August. All right, I think for people slightly longer term, you all can nimble. So if you manage to nimble at $6 plus, you earn one-time dividends that pay out recently. And then right now the market actually, based on weekly chart, I think it closed 8% above. All right, so this is why I say 610 is actually uh, a, a support level, 610 and then to 460. All right, so this is a support level. 450 to $6 is a support band level. All right, right now it didn't even go break through the $6. It's a very good sign. So, long-term perspective, I just buy for long-term investment. There will be trading counter. There will be long-term investment. All right, so I introduce both. Last thing I will be talking about this is called Kappa Corps. Don't forget, just like I mentioned, Singapore government 1 billion. So Keppel Corp is also important company to Singapore lah. Beside Keppel Corp is Sembcorp, Industrial as well, right? So right now this is Keppel Corp, the only oil and gas, which is a strong one. Not the only one lah, but it's a very blue chip lah. So right now we can see that Keppel Corp, if let's say we are just drawing the support resistance is over here. All right, first is 460 is the first support level. All right, since 2016, then 2020 during the COVID period. Right now, like I say, if let's say oil is a good inflation counter, oil related company is somehow will be benefited as well. So if let's say you miss the global financial crisis at this point where you drop to $3.60, I think it's just $1 away right now. Is a good time for you to monitor closely to pick it up. If this support is being breakthrough, all right, is once it go up, and then we are more on bullish bias on this counter. All right, so this is Capital Corp for Singapore shares. All right, so that's all for this week Winning Market Update. Hopefully you guys enjoy, and remember to share my video if you guys believe it benefit your friend as well. That's all. Enjoy your weekend, everyone. Bye bye.